Palms Tennis Center, where Harold, Spider Author, is warming up for the finals of the Aries Open, where he will face the hard-serving Russian sensation, Dmitry Korsakov. I'm Heather Bonham.
And I'm Dick Ramsey. We'll be calling the match for you live on the Cable Sports Network. Heather, as a former champion yourself and Spider Author's ex-wife, it's safe to say you know his game better than anyone.
I'm afraid so, Dick.
The bad boy reputation he's developed over the years, the ump biting, the temper tantrums, the foul language, are those real or just an act to psych out his opponents?
Spider's just an overgrown child. Everything he thinks, wants, feels is right there on the surface. You can either learn to deal with it or get out of the way. It's what makes him such a great competitor.
Isn't he trying to improve his image, though? Just recently, he donated several $100,000 to make these courts available to neighborhood youth.
That's right, Dick. The Spider Author Tennis Park. It's a great project, although I think it was less his idea than that of his manager, Patricia Jackson.
Come on! Hit it! I'm trying to get a warm-up here. You call that a backhand? You can bank your 10% on the winner's check now, Patricia. I'm ready.
You're also a son of a bitch.
Who's made you rich?
And made me suffer for it every day.
I love you, too.
Are you all right, Andy?
Looking great, Spider. Strong. Don't you think you ought to see if he's hurt?
Is he your next charity case?
It's just common courtesy.
Look, old man, I don't need you to tell me how to live my life anymore. I don't need anything from you. You got that? Just leave me alone.
Well, somebody put the spider into the shoebox.
It sure didn't get there by itself.
That makes it murder.
What do you mean I can't have his things? I'm his manager. I do everything for him.
I'm Chief Burke. Are we having some trouble here?
I am Patricia Jackson, Spider's manager, and I am not about to stop taking care of him just because he's dead.
I understand, Miss Jackson, but we need to collect some of his personal effects as evidence, if only for a short time. Why don't you sit down, please?
Look, if you'd like to be a help, you could start by answering a few questions.
I'll try.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted Spider dead?
How about everyone he ever met? Spider had two God-given talents, tennis and ticking people off.
Did anyone else have access to this room?
Nobody. Spider was very superstitious. He'd never let anyone in here before a match.
Yeah, I remember in high school, Spider had all these rituals he went through before a match. I mean, he'd fold his towels a certain way. He'd stow his tennis bag in a particular place.
You knew him?
Back when he was still Harold.
Dispatch got a call from Dale Montrose. He doesn't seem to be around.
Dale Montrose.
What?
We know him, too.
Well, actually, Spider's mother was Dale Montrose, live-in maid. And Spider lived in the house, too.
Spider didn't have a father. Or at least he never knew him.
And that's where Dale came in. He treated Spider like his own son. And when he saw his gift of tennis, he became his benefactor. He paid for the best equipment, the top coaches, everything. Where can I find Mr. Montrose now?
Home. He took it pretty hard.
Thank you. Now, you two finish up here, and I'll go see if I can have a talk with my old friend, Mr. Montrose.
No! More wrist! You want to put some top spin on it. And footwork. Do not forget the footwork. Ah, that's it. That's it. Okay, now. Pretend I'm the umpire. Tell me what you think of me.
How could you miss that call? What'd you do, leave your seeing eye dog at home?
Good, but try to have some more energy. Oh, sell it.
Make a decision, you spineless worm! Where's your regular job, at the post office? If you're gonna just sit up there and watch, buy a ticket!
Ah, great. You got it. Take 5. Then we'll get into working the crowd.
There's so much more to the game now than when my son played.
Hundreds of kids can play great tennis, Chief, but the ones who can do it with attitude, those are the ones who are going to get noticed.
Or murdered. We found your fingerprints in the case that Spider kept his 8-track spiders in. Just inside, where you could reach in to take one out.
Or feed them.
Feed them.
When Spider was away, I also watered his plants, paid his bills, picked up his dry cleaning.
I thought you were his manager. You sound like his personal assistant.
That's what I tried to tell Spider, but he was so particular about everything. I was the only one he trusted to do things for him. And people think my job is glamorous. But with Spider, I was Just a well-paid slave.
You resented him, didn't you?
I suppose I did.
Enough to kill him.
Sometimes. I would have to be a fool to kill my biggest moneymaker just because I feel unappreciated. Spider didn't appreciate anyone, and if you don't believe me, ask Heather Bonham.
Tennis star.
Former tennis star. Now she works on cable TV.
They were married, weren't they?
Briefly, but it wasn't what you'd call a love match. Heather blamed Spider for ending her tennis career, and considering what she's been doing since, I'm surprised she didn't kill him a long time ago. What are you, out of your mind? That is the lowest, sickest, most disgusting. I don't care how many units you can sell. You do not have permission to use Spider's name, and if you try to do it anyway, I will sue you.
How's business?
You wouldn't believe the offers I'm getting. It's like vultures circling. Some people will do anything to make a buck.
Like selling Spider's life story to television?
Well, that's different. Well, that's going to be done with taste. Rocky in tennis shorts, the triumph of the human spirit, rags to riches. How did you hear about the movie?
Oh, we hear a lot of things.
Like how Spider was in the process of dumping you as his manager.
Oh. Spider had been threatening to do that at least once a month for the past 5 years. It got to be a joke between us.
But this time it was serious.
What's your point?
We think that murdering Spider and selling his life story might have been your way of making a killing one last time.
You guys should sell your story to television. It's certainly wild enough. Okay. Spider was about to leave me, and I was angry. You know, why wouldn't I be? I made him. I took his talent and his temper, and I made a positive out of what everyone else saw as a negative.
And if you couldn't have him, you made sure no one else could.
No. Oh, believe it or not, I was relieved to be done with him. His arguing about money, his complaining about money was never enough. He was the greediest man I ever met.
Speaking of money, now that Spider's dead, what happens to his fortune?
I don't know. He didn't have a will. He also had a lot less money after he made out that check.
What check?
The check he wrote out last week to Del Montrose for $2 million.
$2 million? Why?
He told me it was none of my business.
I guess I better make it mine.
One of Spider's dreams was to open a tennis center for the underprivileged. Even though Spider has been taken from us, I'm happy to say that his dream is not, and so it gives me great pleasure to dedicate the Harold Spider Arthur Memorial Tennis Courts.
And I'm afraid it doesn't give me any pleasure to have to arrest one of you for Spider's murder. You should be ashamed of yourself, Ms. Jackson.
I didn't kill Spider.
I didn't say you did. I'm talking about what you're doing to your protege, Andy. You shouldn't practice attitude. Sports are contests of skill, not temper. Be expecting a visit from the police, Mr. Timmons.
Why? What did I do?
Nothing. But the police want to reopen the file on the accident that killed your fiancée. It won't bring her back, but it seems only fair that her family should get some sort of settlement from Spider's estate. You must feel very guilty, Dale.
What are you talking about?
The $2 million check. I spoke with the bank. They told me you taped Spider's check back together and tried to cash it.
If I hadn't gotten it, someone else would have.
That's right. His ex-wife, Heather Bonham. But you're not going to need money where you're going, Heather.
What?
Well, I heard that CBS has offered you a bundle just to join the sports team. No more cheerleading competitions. Congratulations.
Thank you. Aren't you going to accuse me?
Oh, I was going to until I convinced myself you've done nothing illegal. Not between consenting adults, anyway.
But wait a minute. That's everyone. I thought you said one of us was the killer.
Oh, what a tangled web we weaved when first we practiced to deceive. You know perfectly well who killed Spider. You did.
Nonsense.
Well, that's what I thought at first. But something has bothered me about this case from the start. The margin of error. Spider's pregame ritual was private. No one knew exactly what it was. If that was true, then how could the killer be sure Spider would open the shoebox holding the deadly Spider?
How would I know?
That's just the point. You're a man of rituals, Dale. Your boat, your daily bicycling, You obviously passed some of those rituals down to Spider.
Even if I had, doesn't prove I killed him.
You're right. It was enough to get me thinking, though. A bite from the deadly 8-track Spider causes cardiac arrest. Hardly a risk a man with a heart condition would want to take.
So a check of your phone records show that during the month preceding Spider's death, you made 11 phone calls to pharmaceutical houses across the country that specialize in poisonous venom antidotes.
But there isn't one for the 8-tracks, is there, Dale? But you took the chance anyway. Why? He was like your son.
I brought Spider into my home. I taught him not only how to play tennis, but how to play the game of life with honesty and integrity. Integrity? He didn't know the meaning of the word.
That's why you killed him?
I don't expect you to understand, but yes. Last month, I found out that Spider had no intention of funding this tennis complex. It was all a publicity scam. He just wanted to sell more shirts, more shoes. When I confronted him, he just laughed. He said he was tired of having me consider him as a son. I said, as far as I was concerned, he was my son. No, he said, I was just a boarder in your home, nothing more. Then he wrote me out that check and threw it in my face. I loved that boy. I thought he loved me. But it was just a lie. Then I took a look around, and I saw that I was not the only one. Spider was hurting everyone he touched. And he was going to go on hurting them until
someone stopped him.
I thought I'd raised his son. What I'd raised was a monster. The monster had to be destroyed.
I'm sorry to say, Dale, he destroyed you too. Game, set, match.